I know I'm a little late on this review of One Piece chapter 896, but yesterday I hadn't got the time to just sit down and do a review for this chapter since I've been working on some new videos that I'll be posting in later next week or maybe the week after that. But with that said, let's start the review of One Piece chapter 896. So my opinion on this chapter is that it was amazing to see. I think from start to finish this chapter didn't disappoint at all, especially the fight with Luffy and Katakuri. The ending of that fight was done phenomenally good, and I don't think it could have been done any better than what Oda did. But before we get to the portion with Luffy and Katakuri, I just gotta mention this. The first part of the chapter starts off with Sanji and the Big Mom Pirates awaiting Luffy in Cacao Island, and they are all awaiting Luffy. And even though they are 100% sure that Luffy cannot defeat Katakuri in any way or form, they still think that there's a possibility that Luffy will escape. Now, I think this is a great thing that Oda did here. Like, let me explain. The arc is going to end now, so basically most series make antagonists give up by this point. It's a type of plot armor, and I like the fact that Oda didn't implement it in here. Even though they are 100% sure that Luffy didn't defeat Katakuri, they still think that there's a possibility that Luffy escapes the battle. Then there's the moment with Sanji and Pudding, and I think at first I thought it was a generic moment between the two, but it turned out to be a very well done moment. I mean, the final moment when Pudding asks for Sanji cigarettes, I don't know if she asked specifically for the cigarettes because it isn't 100% clear what she asked him. It was only shown that she took his cigarette, but nothing was stated. Now there is a slight possibility that she removed his memories of her, and I think the option where she took his cigarettes and asked him to quit smoking, it's a really shocking thing. Imagine, Sanji from day one that he was shown, he was always smoking. I don't think there has been a panel where Sanji isn't smoking. If there is, you can probably literally count them in both hands. Now, if Sanji acknowledges Pudding's respect and seriously quits smoking cigarettes, that's huge, man. That's huge. And that's also character development. And also Oda maintaining Sanji's character. Because Sanji respects women 100% of the time. He was never seen disrespecting women. If he quits smoking, that will make perfect logical sense in terms of where we are at now in the story. And I think if he goes that route, it will make sense, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy to see a character change something that he did from day one. It's crazy to see that, and especially in Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump magazines usually stick to a certain character, and there are some character traits that they won't change. So if this happens to Sanji, that will kind of break that chain. To compare, it is exactly like having Luffy or Goku or even Naruto, for an example, not eating meat or ramen anymore. It is just the exact same thing. Sanji has his trait, Luffy has his trait, Goku has his trait, Naruto has his trait, every character has his trait. And to break that trait, I don't think it has been done before. However, in my opinion, if this happens, it will be a pretty significant moment in all of One Piece. Even though it might strike you as a really minor moment, but for Sanji's character, I think this is one of the hugest things of Sanji's character. Now moving on to the Luffy vs Katakuri portion, I gotta say, man, it was hype to see it, and I was expecting it for like 2 weeks now, and to see it finally conclude in this fashion, my god, man, Oda couldn't have done it way better than this. And I wasn't actually expecting to be something like this, something of this magnitude. This was done way better than I thought it would have been done. The special thing about this fight is absolutely the respect there is between Luffy and Katakuri. I've said it once before, Luffy and Katakuri almost respect themselves as brothers. I mean, yes, they are enemies, but it seems like if they are pushed in a situation where they have to work together, it won't be as difficult as one might imagine. I mean, the two basically think a lot alike. It is confirmed in this chapter they respect each other 100%, you cannot doubt that. And when Katakuri said that if one day he will come for Big Mom, and Luffy saying that of course he'll come and he'll be the one to become the Pirate King, and then Katakuri says to him, guess you really can't see the future. Oh my god, man, that was the perfect acknowledgement to Luffy there. If you don't understand this line of Katakuri, he's basically saying that he fully understands Luffy now. At first he wasn't that much sure about Luffy, but after the fight and he's been kind of defeated, he isn't defeated by Luffy because this fight is kind of a draw, but the way that he went down, acknowledging Luffy that he'll become the Pirate King one day. And I've got to point out this as well, Katakuri's size difference between himself and Luffy is humongous. I mean, seriously though, Luffy's like 1/16 of this guy. His legs alone are like triple the size of Luffy. The size difference is incredible, man. And Luffy able to match someone of that stature? Yeah, he's grown. He's grown a lot, especially in this fight. His observational haki has grown into a different level. But is he on the Admiral's level? Well, honestly, he might be at this point, because Katakuri is not a weakling at all. He's the second in command of the Big One Pirates. But is he in the level of Admirals? If he's not, he's a little below them. Obviously, nowhere near Akainu's level, because Akainu's level is basically kind of, he's below a Yonko, definitely. Yeah, he's below a Yonko, because Whitebeard demolished him. But he still put up a fight against Whitebeard, if you look back at it. But Akainu's definitely, and you can all agree with me on this one, is definitely stronger than the average Admiral. But yeah, I think Luffy's just a little below Admiral level now. And then the moment comes where I think this is probably one of my most favorite One Piece moments. I mean, I'm very serious about this one, even though there has been a lot of One Piece moments which were absolutely amazing. But this one, oh my god, man. It's like, not everyone can understand this, but Luffy puts his hat, it's not actually his straw hat, it's actually another hat that he put on his straw hat, and he puts it on Katakuri's mouth. This is basically a two-angle gesture. First of all, he's displaying respect to Katakuri, and secondly, he's kind of reinforcing that respect with covering his face. We know that people don't know about Katakuri's face, and when they might see his face, they might freak out. So him covering his face will obviously not let people see his face. So that's kind of respect that Luffy displayed to Katakuri in his own way. And I think when Katakuri eventually wakes up, he will recognize Luffy as a really respectable guy and a true candidate to become the Pirate King. And this is why I think Katakuri might become maybe some kind of ally to the Straw Hats in the future. I mean, the foreshadowing on this is absolutely crazy, man. Now, thankfully, next week there will be no break in One Piece, so there's that to look forward to next week at least. The whole Cake Island is reaching its end now. Luffy is going to reunite with the Straw Hat Pirates, Sanji and all that, probably in the next chapter. If it's not the next chapter, the chapter after that one. And I've gotta say, chapter 900 is approaching real soon, and we all know that chapter 900 will be a big one to the series. And I'm kind of thinking that chapter 900 could be something concerning the referee now. Every chapter now we're closing the end of this arc, and this arc is going to end real soon now. And I can honestly see it end in 3 chapters. And that puts us at 899, with chapter 900 being the first chapter of the referee arc. And I gotta say, I'm really stoked for that, man. Chapter 900 will be a big one in the series, and I'm pretty sure that chapter will be a chapter that is really important to the overall plot of One Piece in general. But anyway, in regards to the chapter, it was an amazing chapter. It was better than I expected it was going to be, considering that the fight was over between Luffy and Katakuri, and especially with the respect gesture that Luffy displayed, and even in Katakuri's side to Luffy. Both of them mutually respect each other so much. I would say I'd rate this chapter an 8 out of 10. It wasn't the perfect chapter, but it definitely had a memorable moment that we will remember, especially when we see Katakuri once again in the future. But anyway, that has been my review of One Piece chapter 896. If you liked any of what I've said, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on if you want more One Piece content. It's been Nightmare King, thanks for watching, see you on the next one.